Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Kook Shed. It's a show where we talk about things to do with bodyboarding and surfing. I share helpful hints and tips, usually about equipment, and every now and then I'll throw in a review of a product or something that I like that I think might be of interest or value to you out there. So today we are talking about Churchill swim fins, Churchill Markapoo swim fins. These are the new release of the fins. They've had a few different releases over the years, Churchill, and these are the latest ones. So I thought I'd have a little chat about them and fill you guys in on whether they're worth trying out. So the original Churchill that people might know when they think of Churchills are the blue and yellow, the classic blue and yellow swim fins. Owen Churchill invented Churchill swim fins way back in like 1936, I think, and patented it around 1940 from what I remember. So he saw some islander kids playing around with a flat piece of rubber, and they were strapping it to their feet to use to swim with their legs together. And he got thinking about it and came up with an idea to sort of incorporate a whale's tail or a dolphin tail into the flippers. So if you had the mirror one of these, it would create a whale tail if you put your feet together. I just thought I'd show you that one because that's the one we all recognise and know. But yes, these ones are being cut for my drop knee. I cut the tips off. I cut those tips myself for drop knee so they don't catch when I'm getting up. But yeah, that's the shape. You can imagine the tips would be longer, but yeah, they're designed to mimic the shape of a dolphin's tail. Yeah, so we've still got the softer foot pocket and a hard blade, just like the original Churchills. Now it's quite stiff. The actual propulsion blade is quite stiff, and the foot pocket, it's got nice soft rubber, but not too thin. This is quite thick, and I've found that some soft foot pockets they have too much flex, and I've even found that one of my old pairs that were really soft, my toe would come out the drainage hole sometimes because it was so soft. The rubber was so soft in wipeout or certain situations. Yeah, my toe would get squeezed out the drainage hole. This isn't as large. It's quite uncomfortable, but they've come up with quite a good combo, I reckon. Some people, I've heard them say that these new ones are too stiff and too hard, but I think that these are just right. Now, back in the day, back in the 90s, there was two different main types of Churchill Markapoo. There was the classic blue and gold, which you just saw then, and then there was a yellow and a black. So yellow blade and black foot pocket, and they were designed to be a little bit softer. The rubber, the blade stiffness wasn't as stiff as the yellow and blue ones. So I thought these ones might be a little bit softer. Maybe they're the soft version of the blue and yellow, but I think they're pretty much the same. There was no indication on the box that these are made any differently from the blue and gold ones. You can see here, yeah, it just says it's different colour. That's it. It doesn't say that it's made softer or anything. So I'm guessing that it's just a Markapoo, Churchill Markapoo, in orange and black. So you can see here what I was saying about the mimicking the whale tail design. So yeah, you get that in a box with the fins. You get this mesh bag that comes with it as a little bonus to carry them in, which is a good idea. Like, I don't use them personally because I use a surfboard box, surfboard tub, which is in another video on Kook Shed you can check out. But this is handy, you know, it's good to get free stuff thrown in with anything you buy. And especially this would be really handy for carrying things to the beach, putting some clothes in when you're swimming, or yeah, just carrying things that you might not want to lose in the sand. And it also drains out the sand and the water. So it's handy. You could take it camping. It might serve some use camping as well. Whatever you like. So they threw that in the box with these. Now there is another version of these fins, so don't mix them up. These are just the black and orange Markapoos. There is also a black and orange Markapoo Pro. Now that has padding. It's got padding around the ankle strap, and it's got a little bit of padding on top there where it meets the top of your foot. That's designed to eliminate rubbing, and the sizing is a little bit different because there's that much padding. You need to adjust your sizing. But these large, they'll suit a US 12. I'm a US 12, 12 and a half, and these fit perfectly, this size large. There is a chart on, I think, eBodyboarding online, where you can look up all the different flipper companies and their sizing, which is really handy. Don't necessarily trust the manufacturer's sites. Sometimes they're off a little bit, whereas I've found the eBodyboarding size chart is pretty well bang on. So I guess what you might want to know is, do these still hold up to the classic Churchills? Well, I would say yes. So we had, back in the day, Churchills were made with Malaysian rubber, and they were great. Right back in the day, they had the hard plastic sometimes cut right through the foot pocket. There was just a line, basically. You'd have the hard yellow and the softer blue, and it would just go like a line. Now sometime in the 90s they changed that, and they made the harder rubber go around the foot pocket a bit more, and just shaped it more to the foot. Now each one's different. Each one's, as you can see, they're not identical, but each one tries to follow that idea of soft rubber here and hard rubber there. And they changed where they made the fins and where they sourced the rubber from. Now that caused a lot of people to leave their favourite fin brand and go to something else, like I did. The rubber in the initial different versions that they were making in China was really bad. It would crack, it would change colour, it would separate from the other rubber, so you get the blue separating from the yellow, and it was really bad. And the sizing changed as well, I found. The size that used to normally fit me suddenly was too big. So they messed around with the sizing, or maybe the sizing wasn't reliable. I don't know what they did, but it was pretty bad. So then they claimed that they've changed their manufacturing process, they've gone back to their old ways, blah blah blah. And so I thought I'd give them a try. I found these on sale, pretty cheap. These were like $63 Australian. And I have not looked back. I've used them a few times, decent sessions too, and they have not given me one ulcer, not one cramp, not one problem. And I've found them to be really comfortable, perfect size for me, and I can't fault them. And these ones even say on the fin, they say made in China. But I've got to say, they're great. I'm really glad I took the risk on these, because I was using limited editions because they were the only ones that fit my foot properly. Stealth and a couple of other brands they weren't really fitting me 100%. They were too loose in large, but I thought I'll take a risk on these, and they've been great. So I really can't fault them. Try them out. If you see some, you know, at a good price or whatever, yeah, give them a go. Make sure you try them on in the surf shop. Another thing is, when you're trying flippers on in a surf shop, just keep in mind that your feet are probably pretty hot because you've been walking around town or whatever. So they might feel a bit snug in the surf shop where you try them on. But just keep in mind, once your foot is in the water, it shrinks a little in size. It's not as swollen from the heat of your shoe. So there may be a little size discrepancy there. So yeah, I try and not wear shoes. Like I'll wear thongs or sandals or something. Sandals. I wear thongs. I wear them into the surf shop so my foot is nice and cool when I try on flippers, because yeah, that can really throw out your sizing. I ordered these online. I just took a risk because I checked out the sizing, and no, glad I did. They're obviously, yeah, I've cut them down for drop knee, but you get the idea. It's just an old school Churchill shape. See, that blade is really stiff, but that's great. It gives you good propulsion. The old school drainage hole, the single drainage hole. Going back to that, what I was talking about with my toes sticking out sometimes out of this. I know it sounds weird because your toes are here, but this is a good size drainage hole. It's just big enough to let water and shells and things flow out. Some other designs have better drainage, I reckon. Some other companies, they'll have vacuum jets here, little holes here, maybe extra drainage here. I really like that. That's one thing I wish these would have, is just a little bit extra, because sometimes if you're surfing shore breaks, or if you've got really sandy water where there's lots of shell grit, you can get quite a lot piling up, and it takes a little while to come out flushed out here. So that's the only thing I'll whinge about. But this design has been around for so long and so many people love it. It's stood the test of time. I'm willing to put up with the lack of the extra drainage holes, just because I've finally found a fin that's comfortable, does what I want it to do, fits well, nice and tight, it's not going to come off, and so far it looks like it's going to last the distance. Now, I don't leave my fins out in the sun. I don't rinse them in fresh water, some people do, but I don't leave them out in the sun or, you know, in the car to cook. So hopefully these will last a decent amount of time. Well, time will tell. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this review. I just thought I'd let you know about what I'm thinking about these new fins. If you found it to be of some use, hit like, let me know. If you've got some flippers that you really like, bodyboarding fins, body surfing fins that you've found are really good, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more reviews on products or surfing tips and techniques on how to, you know, things to do with surfboards, bodyboards, that sort of thing, just hit subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time on Kook Shed. Thanks for dropping in. Catch ya.